So there's been like leaks and spec and stuff that's saying there's a Pokemon Legends Arceus DLC coming out, and it's going to be released on Pokemon Day, which is February 27th. And Legends Arceus like just came out, so that rumor sounds like a little far fetched to me. I do believe that a DLC could come, but of DLC coming like the same like within the same month as the initial release sounds kind of wild to me.
Yeah, I don't believe it until I see it. I've gone through too many leaks on things like 4chan, on things like eh, Twitter. I mean, there's so many different leakers that you kind of just don't know who's actually like relevant and who is just like spitting out stupidity. Um, I definitely think that there could be DLC, but I don't think that they would like shadow drop it on Pokemon Day. I could see an announcement and then it released down the line, maybe a
Yeah.
month and a half, 2 months for like if they do the same sort of structure where they have two pieces of DLC, they do the first one. Like Sword and Shield had the Isle of Armor and Crown Tundra. If they have two different things, then I could see that, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I could see maybe a potential announcement for DLC. I could also see them doing like raid den events from Sword and Shield, and they transfer over to Arceus maybe in like the form of alpha Pokemon. So maybe that's a potential thing. I don't think they would go full on a huge DLC release as Pokemon Day. I don't think they usually announce too much. Maybe we could see Pokemon Sleep, but because we haven't gotten anything about that in like a couple
Yeah,
of years. But
yeah, more like
yeah,
Pokemon wake up and realize the game exists.
Did you two
Uh,
play Pokemon Snap,
no, I had no interest.
nope.
James? Okay, so Pokemon Snap was like a full game, came out April last year, and then less about 3.5 months later or 4 months later, they released a free DLC, which added like a few new areas and then some new Pokemon and stuff. But it was free and it was DLC, but it took about 3 to 4 months to come out. So it was kind of like, okay, people have put this game down now. They've played through everything they want to. Let's get them reinterested in it. And
Mhm.
um but like I don't know that we're there yet for Arceus. I think people are still pretty happy with the game. Um and it seems like way too soon for them to be dropping DLC to me. So
I've
I think an
yeah,
announcement.
for sure.
I could see an event being way more realistic than DLC actually. Like if it's like kind of like Pokemon Go, if we're having like James said, raid den appearances or like the time space distortions have new Pokemon in them, or old Pokemon are just overworld spawning, either just for today or that's going to be a new thing that rotates weekly. I think that would be amazing. I would love it, and I think it's also more likely than a full DLC dropping next week.
Yeah, I think the time space distortions are basically the only way that you can physically get away with it, and it makes sense. Otherwise, I'll just be like, "Oh, why the hell weren't these here before?" You know,
Yeah,
because
like it's
I
dropping them
like
out
to
of the
nitpick
sky.
my games, and when things are like they don't make sense, I like to call them out. So the time space distortions are definitely a nice open ended way of putting in new Pokemon from like Gen 5 and onward, as well as perhaps some missing like Kanto, Johto, and Hoenn Pokemon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I like the story concept of Arceus, so I would like it to actually make sense if they when they add more.
Yeah, like I think Hoopa, like something like if you want to introduce stuff that's like post Gen 5, if you want to give you like Gen 5 and onward, you want to give it more of a story reason and have an encounter with a legendary, then that's probably your best way of going about it. That or
yeah.
Celebi, those are the only two I can really think of that are relevant.
Yeah, I could see maybe small events. I don't think they're gonna have like a big like a Celebi event, for instance, but I could see like some kind of cool Pokemon that wasn't in the game spawning. I don't really see them adding DLC this early or announcing it just like 1 month after the game. It just seems like why didn't you just include that in the original release? Because I don't think you would have enough time to do like a huge DLC project by that point. So yeah, I would say probably like maybe some cool Pokemon events single stuff like the raid den similar to the alpha Pokemon, but like mass outbreaks, but yeah, I can't see it otherwise.
Realistically, I can see. I mean, the DLC, if we were to get any, I don't know if you guys have seen like the old verses, where you basically go around with Ursaluna and you dig them up. I kept finding them whenever I was just looking for evolution items. I'm like, I don't care about this right now. Give me what I want. But if you actually took the time to read them, one of them, I think, Old Verse 12 brings up the idea of Sinjo, which, if you remember the event from Heart Gold Soul Silver, the Sinjo ruins where you get the Arceus from Cynthia and all that. That was like there was the combo of the two regions working together, and I could definitely see something involving Celebi with that. But I mean, maybe it's a long stretch. I don't know. Again, this is like completely uncharted territory for the series. We can't exactly predict something that is grounded in reality because we don't know what is particularly grounded and what's just like fantasy booking this entire thing.
I think an important thing to remember is like you were kind of hitting there, Meatball. Like DLC isn't a Pokemon thing. DLC's new to Pokemon, right?
Yeah, but I mean, you look at just about every Pokemon project that's been since Gen 8 has been a thing, and you can definitely see that. Oh, yeah, that definitely seems like something that'll end up happening. And
Right.
like if you look at the spin-offs, like you said, new Pokemon Snap, Sword and Shield, of course, had the two areas. Unite keeps getting constant updates.
So this could be
I
more
think
like
even Cafe Mix has gotten a couple of things too.
so
So
the DLC doesn't necessarily have to be like a whole new game, like a brand new region, a complete like $30 add-on type deal.
yeah,
It could just be we're adding multiplayer, we're adding these new Pokemon, we're adding this new concept that wasn't in the original game. It could just be things they weren't ready to put in the base game that they wanted to work on a little more and add later, like multiplayer and stuff. I just found out you could trade in Pokemon or Legends Arceus, but
yeah.
that's another point.
It is funny. They give you like the trading cord so that you can evolve the Pokemon, but then you can still just trade them. Again, another instance of Pokemon looking at the ROM hack and fan game community, seeing an idea and pulling from it. So I'm just gonna say that's I like that they keep looking at the community. So, but that's beside the point.
Personally love the Battle Tower, Battle Frontiers, all of that in the games because like I don't necessarily compete in the VGC, but I love taking my team and like then going and battling like the iconic trainers in the Battle Tower Frontier type deals. So seeing that in Arceus Legends would be crazy. I just don't know like how they're going to fit that into like the story and everything. But I guess it would be like, oh, we're trying to learn how to, battle with our Pokemon and stuff like this dude who popped out of the hole in the sky said they do in the future. Megas and G Maxes would be crazy, like story wise, to see. Like, I guess those are gonna pop out of the sky too. I don't know.
I have no idea why they would try to force G-Maxes in here. It's a gimmick to Galar because it's supposed to be sports oriented and they have stadiums specifically made for it. I don't think that it makes sense here. Mega Evolutions are a lot more compact and make a lot more sense. And this could also be my my bias going against Sword and Shield and hating every single thing that it ever did. But, you know,
I think
they
Megas are
might
more
try something.
transferable. You're right. Because
Yeah,
Megas are like,
like
here's a stone, it unlocks a new power of your Pokemon. G-Max are like, Galar is like toxic and has chemicals and it
yeah,
makes your
Unga
Pokemon
Unga
huge.
Bunga, me big boy.
Yeah.
That's exactly what Dynamax to me is. But yeah, the Mega Evolutions, the only weird thing about it is that held items aren't a thing in Legends Arceus. But because if you look at the way that they execute the plates, um, that you
Old
can just
items.
like use them on Arceus, you could just make the Mega Stones do the same thing.
Yeah.
Am I wrong, or didn't Let's Go have no held items as well, but you could still Mega Evolve? I'm pretty sure
Mm,
that was the case, and that means Megas could be a possibility. I agree, though. I don't think Gmax or Dynamax would ever be a thing, I think, in Arceus. It makes no sense for the lore, as it was a Galar region exclusive, but Megas, maybe? I mean, I don't see it personally either, but it's a
In Pokemon Let's
possible.
Go and in Pokemon Let's Go, there are no hold items. They're non-existent.
Yeah, but
But
they can still
in
Mega Evolve.
battle, you can simply just press the Mega Evolution button on the screen.
Yeah, so, like,
Um,
if you have the item in your inventory, it's like,
yeah.
okay, this is an available option for you.
Mhm.
So, I guess I understand that. I don't know why. I mean, I'll just say I don't know why we took held items out when we have things like Oran berries and cherry berries for like throwing at Pokemon. But that's beside the point. I digress.
I think it's to make the game seem more archaic because these people are saying they don't know how to work alongside of Pokemon. So, and yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's just to go more into that. Because like I don't know. I don't know if they would add held items in like the first DLC or whatever, but because it would just take away from like,
It's
oh, I never
probably
got
just
any
for
territory.
simplicity's sake, I'd
Yeah,
imagine for the
the
most
same way
part.
that they removed abilities. Like, yeah, it's fine now.
I mean, I don't think they would have a Looker quest. The thing is, Looker was more of an international police, and I don't think they have much police back in the day. We already had the Galaxy Expedition. I don't know. I think it'd be really tough, and it would be over exaggerated for maybe a Looker event. I could see it potentially. Maybe he's from like a separate village outside of the region, but I don't know. I think it would be a little bit stretching it. I feel like.
I feel like the best way that they can do something like that, like involving a looker character sort of thing, is if he's like a low ranking person in like the security corps and you kind of help him become a better at his job, and eventually he kind of becomes sort of like the personality you see out of Looker and like Platinum and all of the other games he appears in. But I feel like it's that's kind of cope. I don't really think
Yeah,
there's any
it's
reason to
stretching it.
involve another like ancestor of a character that it didn't even I mean isn't in like half of the other games that actually have Sinnoh, but you know.
Yeah, and we already
So,
have so many character references too.
Yeah.
what's the mobile game? Is it Pokemon Masters where you just get to like
Mhm.
play with so many Pokemon and trainer combos? So they could in Legends Arceus kind of like forget about keeping everything story and canon base, and now that they have a big hole in the sky and time space distortions, every few months they could just add more Pokemon and more people and be like, oh, look, Looker popped out of the hole this month, he's going to
Uh,
help us find Ultra Beasts, or
oh no, we're
like
going back to Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. No, I
but
think
like
Rainbow Rocket was
I don't
enough.
I'm not
yeah, oh
saying I would
god.
like that, but they might have the option since they created this lore about a hole in the sky. It's almost like a Deus Ex Machina type deal.
Yeah, it
It's like
really is just a Deus Ex Machina isekai. You just got hit by Truck-kun and you are forced into this region.
yeah,
That's
so like they could
basically
just
and they can do whatever the hell they want to.
they could. And the thing is, maybe I wouldn't like it because it wouldn't be very story based. Like, why is Arceus bringing Looker back? Like stuff like that. But it could be a hell of a lot of fun if they just like every couple months have DLC with new characters, new Pokemon, new stories, even if it's just a couple things, or if it's like once every 6 months and it's a more major thing. They have a lot of room they could go with this. Or they could just save it all for another Legends game altogether.
Yeah, I'd rather they just like let other regions be other regions and do the whole Legends thing in other regions. The only thing I can see, again, bringing up the Sinjo ruins thing, I would like to see the story of how that comes to be and being able to see some more Johto Pokemon because like Cyndaquil's a starter. It kind of makes sense. You could add in the other two starter lines for Johto. You can add in a couple of notable Pokemon after all. We got like Wordeer as an evolution of Stantler and frickin' Sneasler.
Sneasler. So every Pokemon game ever, I always want to be able to go to the other regions. Like I feel like they just cap us at not being able to like go to the other regions and find new Pokemon, battle other gym leaders in Elite Four. I would just love that. Like just the whole world of Pokemon in one game.
Hey,
Um
keep puffing that copium, buddy, because it's never gonna
I
happen.
know it's never going to happen, but I would love it to. So anything even similar to it would be great. And like, there's like because we talk about them bringing Pokemon to Hisui, like Professor whatever his name is with the big hat talks
Yeah.
about. But he brought, I brought these starters from other places, blah blah blah. And I believe there's something in the game that makes us believe that he's from Alola. And
Yeah,
then
I think he brought up that it's
it's like
his
there's like a
homeland and
line
one of
or
the
something
yeah.
about it, and then there's a Galarian Wheezing sculpture on top of a building. So like these other regions exist right now, and I would love to travel to them. Like we have that boat, like we have that dock area, right? Let's just
Yeah.
use it to go to other regions.
Look, like the last time we were discussing like additional returning to previous regions in a Pokemon game was Kalos with Sword and Shield because there was a train station. Like, well, and because of the fact that England and France or Scotland, I mean, whichever region Sword and Shield are based off of, are very
Mhm.
close to each other, and therefore they kind of equated it to that in their theory crafting for the potential of a Kalos return. It didn't end up happening, and every single time we do have a rumor of another region being in a Pokemon game, it just never happens. So again, I'll believe it when I see it, and I will continue to let you huff copium. It's okay. It's a very addictive drug, but I don't know. I'd say about 2% chance it happens.
Oh,
We've
2%. Okay, I have enough copium for 2%.
Yeah,
Let's
one
go.
out of 50 apparently is
That's good.
I,
That's great where I come from.
apparently.
uh, I don't know. With Sinjo, it'd be cool if you could go to Johto and there'd be some kind of connection. But I feel like the processing power, I just can't really see it happening, unfortunately. I feel like that this is just Arceus is its own spin-off. They're focusing on that specific area of the Mount Coronet region. And yeah, I mean, I just don't really see it happening. Plus, I think they'd rather just move on to the next generation than like adding DLC to for like other regions specifically in this game.
Multiplayer in Arceus is definitely an idea that people I've seen quite a number of people bring it up. The weird thing is that this battle system is completely different from other Pokemon games. And it's more like a Bravely Default Octopath Traveler type thing where you can move multiple times in a row. Priority moves allow you to go like twice in a row, like Quick Attack. The Agile and Strong style change damage calculations substantially, and Pokemon don't really have that much of a differentiation between each other because effort levels are the same throughout, and the only deciding factor as to your stats being different from another of the same Pokemon is just a nature. So I could see it being relatively fair, but also I'm sure there's something broken in the battle mechanics and being able to go extremely fast. Like with, for instance, Crobat. A Crobat is a very fast Pokemon. By the end of my flying type only Nuzlocke I was able to hit 3 times in a row with Crobat, just hitting stuff over and over again. And I feel like that would be something that would just define a meta of Legends Arceus. And while it probably won't be like VGC related because they got to stay in dumb old Galar with Dynamax and not banned, but I'm sorry I keep harping on it. I can't stand it. That's why I won't play it.
So I would love something like Meatball just described because it brings me back to a simpler time when me and my friends would get the new game, we would train our team, we'd beat Elite Four, and then we're like, all right, now let's battle each other. And then once we started like the whole EV training and IV breeding, it just became exhausting and not fun anymore to battle each other. It became fun to try to be competitive and beat other people online, but we just wanted to like I remember XY, like I really liked Delphox. Like it was cool to like form that bond between my starter Pokemon and I that I kept it in my party the whole time, and then I wanted to play against my friends with that six Pokemon team that like I beat the Elite Four with and everything. Those Pokemon that I formed that bond with, which you can't really do when you introduce IV and EV because your Pokemon are all screwed up by killing other Pokemon and the breedings, whatever. So I would love to see battles that are meant to just be casual, fun, and friendly in
Yeah.
Legends Arceus.
I wouldn't say that they would be casual though. They would just be a little bit more easy. Quality of life updates that lead to easier access. That's basically what it would be.
Yeah, maybe they wouldn't be casual from playing against Meatball because he'll have his flipping 3 attack in a row
I
Crobat
will
pulling my
try
Rowlet.
hard. I try hard on everything. That's just the nature of the beast.
I don't think we're gonna see competitive battling against each other. I think in this game, if there's a multiplayer update, I feel like what would happen is you have like the hordes of X and Y, and then you have an alpha Pokemon, and then you and another person can team up to fight that horde and try to capture it, like kind of like the Raiden style.
Yeah, like
That's
Raiden
how I would
style.
that's
That would
how
be
I
cool
would
too.
imagine the multiplayer. I can't really see battles. I don't think this game has some really cool battle mechanics, but I feel like in general it's not really meant for it. I think even though this game is more controlled by TPC than like BDSP, which was made by a different company, and that game doesn't even have like it does have multiplayer, but they don't even have like an online ladder, for instance. I don't think they're going to be focusing much on the online perspective in this case.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It'd just be fun. It's just fine. I mean, DLC that adds more fun to a game, makes it more of a interesting package. I'm all for, just as long as it doesn't cost me an arm and a leg. Well, that ought to do it, I think, for everything that we knew about in terms of leaks and just going over everything that could potentially happen in Legends Arceus on Pokemon Day. So if we missed anything, let us know in the comments. And what do you think is going to be added? What do you think we're huffing copium on? Let us know. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to Beastcoast Pokemon, as well as all our individual channels, Chaotic Meatballs, Helios Network, and James Beck down in the description. And we will see y'all next time. Thanks for watching and take care.